Hey guys, welcome back to another Gonk Gang video, and today I'm going to show you how you can dominate your store showdown with Gar Saxon ECL and get your own playset of Grand Inquisitors, including the champion card. So, this is a deck I recently took to a store showdown and managed to take it all down. We're being undefeated at the end of the day. So the whole idea of the deck is to play shielded units. They're very strong, they don't die to direct damage removal, they stick around and they do lots of damage, but you play more of a mid-game strategy than Gar normally does with the yellow package. So we're going to start by going over some key cards. We're going to go what I call the Krennic package. So Director Krennic is an amazing one-drop. He is a 2/2 shielded unit, but pumped up to 3 attack thanks to Gar, so he's aggressive, but he's also survivable. It's also important to remember that he has an ability which makes defeated units cost 1 less. So that includes Owen Lars, which can be played on the same turn as Krennic for 0 on turn 1. We've got Inferno 4, the Onyx Squadron Brute, Super Laser Tech, and Krennic's Personal Shuttle ST-149. They can all be played as curve fillers as they cost 1 less, so if you want to play a 2 cost plus a 1 cost on turn 2, or if you want to go a 1 cost and a 3 cost on turn 3. All great curve fillers. It lets you get out on the board early, stick some units down, and get some nice threats down. So next we're going to go over what I like to say is the aggressive start. This is the Ship plus Iden package. So this is where you drop down a ship on turn 1, such as Inferno 4 or Onyx Squadron Brute, and then hope to stick Iden Versio Pilot on it next turn for +3/+3 and a shield, and then Gar's additional +1. So you're looking at a 6/6 shielded space unit, which can start applying lots of pressure early, and it's really survivable as it's before Fell the Dragon is available to the opponent, and it's got a shield, so direct damage removal such as open fire or pings will be nullified against it. So a super strong start for this deck. Next, we've got the survivable mid-game threats, such as the Outer Rim Outlaws, a 4/3 shielded with Gar. The Client, a 3/5 shielded with Gar. Good thing to remember about the Client as well, he's a nice anti-aggro tool. He can help you heal in certain situations where him pressuring base isn't relevant. Iden, played on the ground as a 5/3, is still very strong and can even be ECL'd to kill leaders such as Sabine or Kazuda early. We've got Lon Pike, who is a great smuggle option, so he gives you some card advantage there, and also he's really quite overstatted as a 4-drop, as a 4/6, and he has a relevant ability where you can attack, you can go to base and give himself a shield, pump himself up to 5 attack, and you just give a shield to an opponent's card that you're not really that bothered about. And then we've got Krennic's Shuttle again, 4/4 shielded with Gar, and it can steal some tokens when relevant, or what I usually use it for is passing around a shield to a unit that's about to die. If my Krennic's already lost his shield, I'll pass the Shuttle's token back over to Krennic, keep him alive that little bit longer because he's a main value package of the deck. Okay, so next we're moving over to the removal package here. So we run a fair bit of removal in here because we're playing like that mid-game strategy. Power of the Dark Side, 3 of easily, just probably one of the best blue villainy cards you can get out there. Just instantly kills any big threat your opponent has as long as there's no more of the units on board, and it's a really nice tempo card to keep your shielded units around while they've got nothing on board. Next we've got 2 copies of Takedown. Just helps get through enemy shielded units or 5 health leaders, as well as some other mid-game threats such as space units, which we can't always deal the best with. And then of course we've got 3 copies of Overwhelming Barrage and 3 copies of Craving Power. Gone the full 6 here, as just sticking them on one of our survivable units. Our units do stick around. They already have high power thanks to Gar, and just dealing those Overwhelming Barrage damage or Craving Power damage, which is a bonus damage here because it is an upgrade itself and it sticks around. So just huge amounts of damage, and also relevant to remember that Gar Saxon himself, when he's flipped, he returns upgrades to your hand if units die with them. So Craving Power on a Gar himself, and when he dies, Craving Power back to hand. We've got more copies of the card we just want. Okay, so moving on to the next one, we'll be looking at the finishers. So the finishers of this deck, we have 3 Maul for the overwhelm damage. He's just a nice big unit. We run some Underworld too, so he can spread the damage around if needed, but more he's just to pressure life totals and present a big unit on the board. We've also got Darth Vader, Twilight of the Apprentice. We'll talk about him in a minute. He is the main reason we're playing ECL, and the main reason I'm playing the deck, if I'm honest. So we'll touch on him in a minute. And then we've also got 1 copy of Anakin, Champion of Mortis. He's a really nice little target for ECL if we need to. He can also be timely intervention, which is nice. Gives -3. We're not running any heroic cards. I did try that with the Village Protectors, but I didn't see much value. Just the -3 is fine. He's a nice big chunky unit, and also you'll notice all our finishes are force units, so this means that Owen Lars can fish them out really, really nicely, while also being a nice anti-Power of the Dark Side threat himself as he absorbs those spot-based removals and stuff. He can just find our big game, late game threats, and also his Restore 2 can help us get through the early game. And then finally, just one copy of Hotshot Blaster. Recently, a bit of a development from a lot of the better players in the world is running Hotshot even out of aspect. Playing 5 for it can be absolutely fine if it finishes a game. This colour combo doesn't have access to much direct pump and attack, but the Hotshot Blaster itself does give +3 in Gar and gets you to attack straight away. I usually like to sit this on Gar himself to just go straight up 7 to base, and then he's a 7/7 they have to deal with. I tried 2 copies, I just like the 1 for now. Okay, so next we're looking at Darth Vader, Twilight of the Apprentice. So he's a 5/6 unit, and when he comes into play, you give yourself a shield, one of your units, and an enemy unit a shield. So that will pump up any of your units +1 attack, including Vader himself. And then also on attack, he gets to destroy any unit with a shield. So obviously the main combo here is you want to use ECL to bring him in on the 6 resource turn. You're going to kill 2 things because you get to deal 5 or 6 damage with Vader himself on the ground as an ambush, and then you can put a shield on any enemy unit and just instantly kill it. That can be a leader, a giant space threat, or just a mid-game threat that you want to pressure the board with. Just get on the board with Vader, get him out there, and it's also on your Gar flip turn for that added pressure. So Vader is really the main point of this deck. We've also got timely interventions here. We're running the full 3. So this means that your Vaders that come a little bit later after you've initially used your ECL can be also ambushed out, because Vader without ambush is a very different card. He can be very awkward and feel very hard to actually make value out of, because sometimes you give your enemy a shield, they immediately get to use that shield to trade into something of yours, or they go to base and then next turn Vader attacks. So we always want to be ambushing Vader. So it's important to remember to either smuggle out a timely intervention for 2 or for 1 from your hand. And that's in my top tips later. We'll talk about how to use timely intervention properly. But that's also not to say that it can't be used on other cards throughout the game. As I said, our units are usually pretty above rate thanks to Gar's +1 attack, so ambushing out anything at the right time is key. Okay, so next we're going to look at the sideboard here. So the sideboard consists of just 2 copies of most things. So we're running 2 Confiscate for those early General's Blades that really start to annoy me. Or maybe a piloting leader such as Boba Fett, as that's a popular one currently with Data Vault. 2 copies of Legal Authority. A great little card, helps us capture those early to mid game threats that the enemy aggro player may be doing against us. I often bring this in against Sabines. So it just captures their unit. You also get +1 attack, +2 health. So the +1 attack even helps you capture a bigger unit than you normally would be able to with the Legal Authority. We're running 2 Disruptive Burst here. Now this is a bit of a silver bullet card here, as this deck does struggle into Vader 4, specifically the Yellow Swarm archetype. So when they've got a bunch of TIE fighters and they've gone super wide, we only have 9 space units in the deck and we can really start to struggle. So this just manages to wipe the space arena for us and we keep pressuring. 2 copies of Lieutenant Shieldson, similar also for aggro. He gets big. We've got lots of blue cards. He gets +1 attack, so he's nice to throw out. He's also not a bad early game ECL target if we need to use it. And then just for a little bit of late game punch and also Owen Lars fuel with the Force tag, we've got Darth Vader, the original green one, for some ambush. Okay, so finally I'm just going to go over some top tips here. So against non-blue decks, I would look for a turn 1 space unit into Iden, because they can't directly remove it as easily as other decks, and also it gets maximum pressure on board. Tip 2 would be to save ECL for Vader unless you really need to use it. That 6 resource turn is crucial for this deck. It gets Gar out, it usually wipes the board with Vader, so save it. But if you're going to die, you've got to use ECL. Don't die before you get to use Vader. And some matchups Vader's really awkward. There's not always a ground unit to even ambush. A lot of decks are going all space. Okay, so tip number 3 is do not always resource your timely interventions straight away. You want to keep them in hand sometimes for that extra punch. And you know, 1 versus 2 cost is very different with the timely interventions. Tip 4 would be that the Barrage and the Craving Power, very key in the deck, but you have 6 of them. It's important to use them even when they're not important. Like, if it's not massive pressure, get them out there, clear the enemy board, push damage on base. You can't go as late as other decks, so get out there with those cards. And finally is finish the gaming with Vader to dominate the board and use Maul to pressure life totals in the end game and push for that lethal kill. Okay, so with that all said, let's jump straight into some Carabas games and see if we can't pull off some cool plays. So here we are in our first game against Yoda Data Vault. It's an interesting one. I'll take the initiative. Not a bad hand here. Got the Krennic into Inferno 4 and of course the keycard Vader, and we can put this in the resources. So I'm going to keep this, going to put this down, and we'll put the takedown down for now. Power of the Dark Side's probably better in the early game, so we'll take those for now. Just adjust that. Okay, we're going to start with Director Krennic for the nice shielded pressure. He plays the Night Sister Warrior. I think I'll claim here. Oh, that's a nice little curve filler. We can put 2 into space here. I think I'll show off the Krennic King here, so we'll resource the client for now. I think we will start with 3 to base, because he's going to want to try and get the Yoda trigger after leaving the battlefield anyway. No, he actually went 2 to base, so let's get out Inferno 4. I think I will put both of these on the bottom to try and draw some bigger guys. He's gone for Yoda. I'll play out the Brute into space. So as you can see, we've got the 1 and the 2 value here, so we kind of skipped the resource, which is real nice. Aiden's real nice here. We can get her in a ship. The second Inferno, I wish it wasn't unique here, but we'll probably just resource that for now. He's got some nice restore units here. He's probably going to hit Krennic. Yep, did think so. We've got a choice here. He's probably going to hit into Krennic, or we can power and keep him alive for now. I think we are just going to go 2 to base before he dies. Don't need to use his resource reduction here. 33 health is a lot of health to get through here on Yoda though. So next we will go for... Don't want to walk into the Fel the Dragon too much, so I think I'm just going to go for the 2 to base before I put Aiden on the ship. He's using Yoda to stall some time. This could go bad. We will play Aiden with piloting. Bit at risk against the blue decks here. Only hope into a resupply carrier. Interesting. So he's ramping ahead next turn. I think we will... It's a nice little value trade though. He's going up to 6 next turn. I think I will value trade here. Made him play like an only hope to just resupply basically. I like a second Brute. Owen's nice. I definitely want to keep the power. Probably resource Owen here. I feel like he's not doing a ton. 2 to base there. I think we'll go 6 to base. Yoda's coming down next turn on the same turn as Gar, which is oh, Yoda's coming down this turn. That's huge, actually. Okay, so let's get our 2 to base before he flips Yoda. Goodbye, Onyx Squadron Brute, because sadly this is still only a 2 cost for the sake of Yoda's flip ability. So it's probably going to die here. I will get to heal 2 from the base as a small consolation prize. Nothing great though. Oh, a second Yoda's interesting. I think we're going to look to ECL first action next turn, so sadly it's going to be a bit of a slow turn. Just get down a second Brute. Definitely going to want to use our power spike next turn for ECL. He's just prepping the top of his deck. I think I will claim here. Here comes Yoda. He kills the Brute. I'll heal 2 from base. Those 2 ramps have paid off really nicely for him here. Drawing some late game threats though, which is good. So we'll get to show off the Vader play here. So we use our ECL, we use our Darth Vader. We get to give a shield token to a friendly unit and an enemy unit. So we're going to give 1 to a friendly unit. I could pick one of these. I'm going to pick Vader himself. I want to keep him healthy. And then an enemy unit is going to be Yoda leader. And then we trigger ambush. We attack into this Yoda, and on attack we defeat the Yoda. So there's the huge swing play. We remove his entire board, we get a 5-6 in play, and we've still got our leader to flip. We've got some little units in space. This is the amount of pressure it can create, and there's the perfect answer with the Luke though. Very nice for him. I think we'll still pressure the base here. Get Gar out. He doesn't kill him in one hit necessarily, so we'll get an extra 4 to base. We'll pass that. See a second Vader. If we had a timely right now, we'd be able to just do it all again. That's the magic of the Vader. I imagine he is going to play down another threat here, maybe an Obi-Wan Sentinel, or is he just going to get the 6 to base and restore? He gets down the Village Protector. We've got a few options here. Could definitely look to use Maul to overwhelm on top of this. He's going to trade in with Luke, or we can power the dark side, get rid of this. Luke can't kill him, but then we don't have much else to do because we're not on 8 resources for the blaster, so I think we'll just hit the shield off and then look to overwhelm for 5 with Maul. Really hope we draw a timely intervention sometime soon. We'll trigger this, we'll overwhelm for a bunch. Let's see what Yoda's got cooking in his hand. Still got 6 resources up, it's a bit scary. Fell the dragon, okay. I don't reckon he's got much else to do, and I'd rather just get rid of this Luke rather than 4 to base. I mean, he only restores. I think I'm going to claim here. See what we draw. Ooh, playing another unit was bad for us here. OB, not a bad draw. We can kill off the Luke. Second Maul's not bad either. We get to overwhelm another load. I like all these cards. I think power's maybe the worst now. So we can go 5. We've got 3 left over, nothing to do with it really. So I think we need to keep pressuring this base. So let's go Maul. Let's just keep pressuring. Starting to run into that late game now where Guard does tend to fall off a little bit. We have him on high numbers, but the Data Vault's definitely going to help him. Really could do with a timely intervention, I reckon. Let's get 2 to base in. Keller and Beck is nice. That's a huge card for him. Gets to search up a 3 or less cost, but he can pay extra. He didn't actually pay the extra, which I'm surprised about. Let's get 2 more to base. Let's pass. Still no timely. Real rough here. I think we'll resource to the Director Krennic. It's not looking good. A nice takedown there. We'll heal 2 from base. I think we will probably OB here. It's pretty weak, but we get to take out his restore unit. And then we will also put 1 on Kelleran for if we do get to ambush Vader at some point. Might get 4 to base in here. Get down the Outer Rim Outlaws, hope it survives. Might be our way out. It's been a tough game this one. This guy's played nice. He's played well. Monday, we get our 4 to base. Down the Outlaws. He gets to draw some cards here. Don't think I'm too bothered about that though. I mean, cards is good. Cards are options, but we're trying to get the kill here. I think I'll claim here. Nice. And we end up even getting the timely here. That is absolutely perfect. But the magic thing is, the out of aspect hotshot blaster comes in absolutely clutch here. Come on, let's go. So we get to go. Boom. With the upgrade, we get 6 attacks, 6 to base. There's the game.
Hello there.
Okay, so getting into the next game here, we've got a Obi-Wan on the 4 space with yellow. I like this. Probably going for some Venestra Row kind of stuff. Kind of Qui-Gon style, maybe like a value deck. I like the idea. I think this starting hand's pretty poor, so we're going to mulligan this. We've only got 1 turn 2 into kind of doing nothing, so this got a lot better. Nothing amazing, but we're going to start with Inferno 4. Probably go into a Power of the Dark Side, so maybe we'll resource 1 of those. Lom is nice on turn 4, although he does have Smuggle. I think in this situation I would rather keep the Lom for the ground fight than the shuttle. So let's see where we go. So we'll start in space. Direct to Krennic is nice. I think we will keep the OB, or bottom the Krennic here. I don't think we need him. He's going to claim. No, he went straight for the experience actually because of the +1 from the Obi-Wan. Gives him the force immediately. Oh, there's our Vader. Lovely. I think in this situation, craving power is slightly better than OB. We're probably only going to kill one thing anyway. And we're going to start with a power here just to clear the pressure. Into an Obi-Wan Sentinel. Very nice. We'll go 2 to base. And we'll pass. 2 smuggle cards here. As we talked, sometimes we want to keep that timely just in case. And this is definitely one we're not just playing out for 3. So definitely get that in the resources here. Gets the force. I think we're going to get down the... Let's go 2 to base for now, just to avoid some removal options potentially. Venestra is very nice for him here. That gets Sentinel. We'll just play down Lom. And then we will claim. This deck's all about building up to that big turn 6 when we get the Vader play off. This turn we're probably looking at a craving power. We could also timely in Iden for 5 damage. That's not a bad play. It means we would still get to attack. I think Owen's not doing much. I think we will go for the craving power though. So it gives +3/+2, so we'll go on Lom. Get to deal 7 damage. I think the most annoying is probably the Obi for the Sentinel, so we'll get rid of him. One thing here is I don't mind giving the enemy a shield with Lom if I'm planning on starting next turn with Vader, so I don't mind that at all. So I think I will attack. I will attack here. I will give a shield to... I give a shield to Venestra and a shield to myself. I won't take 3, but then she's a 4/5 shielded, gets to deal 4 for free. Can't say I'm a fan of that. I don't think I shield here actually. So I'll pass that and just take 3 back. He could trade some stuff into Lom if he wants, but I feel like he's going to regret that pretty soon with Vader looming over him. We'll see what he's going to do. He's going to keep pressuring the base. We'll do the same back. We have slightly less health than him, but I think we probably have it. Oh, he's going to take the Vader here. A very nice play. We just drew another one. We're just that good. I believe. He gets to flip out Obi here. 3 more to base most likely. It's absolutely fine. We can deal with this pressure. Didn't draw into the Vader. We can probably do a timely play this turn. We have our leader deploying as well. So I think we will resource the Outer Rim Outlaw. Let's get in our... Kill the Obi potentially. Because of the ambush. Yeah, let's kill Obi. I think we will not give Venestra a shield. No, we're just going to pass on that. If he wants to trade, he can trade. He might have maybe Depper here for some ambush. But that's still a trade. I feel like it's a 7/1 still pretty tough for him to deal with, I think. He probably has a lot of ambush units, but there's still cards out his hand. Yep, that's fine. Definitely losing the pressure game here, but we'll get Gar out. He gets to ambush in. So I think that's fine because we will continue to trade on the board right now. So we will kill him so he can't get an experience token. And then we will timely in Iden because we do not want to use our very valuable ECL, and we'll ambush him for 5 because of the Gar +1. We'll get 2 to base. Got a lot on the board right now. So we've got a hot shot for 5. That takes up, so we could do a 5, 6, 7 play. We've got a 4, 5, 6, 7 play. I like that a bit more. I mean, we could push for lethal potentially though. So I think either way. Just depends what he plays here. Maybe a Keller and Beck or some other bigger threat. But you can see we're slowly taking over the board. If we drew like an OB or something here, that would have been kind of crazy. Okay, so he can exhaust a unit here. So I think we'll get rid of the Outer Rim. He'll exhaust Lom most likely. Yep, that's absolutely fine. I think we will he's probably going to buff to a 4/6. So I don't think there's a ton we can do about that. So let's just get our 4 in while we can. Okay. We will attach our shield. He gets in his 3 to base. We'll get some more damage in. More damage in. And we'll pass. Well, a bit of a rough draw. This can help us, maybe clutch heal 2. 2, 1, 5. Not quite enough. I think I'll get rid of Krennic. I think he has to get rid of Lom though. We will see. Very tight game. Gets the Keller and Bake, probably looking for Obi-Wan Sentinel here. Potentially even a Maz Kanata to pressure the base. He's going to replace his Ahsoka Tano. Does lose him some damage, but he does exhaust, which is nice for him. I think we need to go for maximum damage right now, so we will go Hotshot Blaster on to Gar. I'll go 7 to base. So he is dead unless he has an answer. There it is, another win for me. As you can see, even though we were losing the early game, we really start to brought it back with some value trades. Long Pike is huge, shields everywhere, makes our trades nice and easy, and we saw a nice timely play with Iden. Even though we lost Vader, we can still win these games. Going into the Boba Data Vault here, interesting. A very popular deck in our local meta. We see a lot of red-green, especially on the Data Vault style. So I have played against this a fair bit, and it is a tough matchup every time, but a fun one. I think we'll mulligan this. I don't think it's got a... Well, we do have the shielded guys though. You know what, actually, we're going to try keeping here. We'll try keeping a less fantastic hand. I think I'd rather keep a timely over Maul in case he's like an all-space style. I do see that quite often. Wonder if he gets his Allegiant General Pride off here. Yep, I think there's definitely a consideration for me to ECL this turn 1. Does so much damage to base, and I don't think Vader's going to get a ton of value here, so let's try it. This is where it's important to remember that you can use your ECL early if you want to start winning the board, especially against a deck like Boba Fett, which can put on so much pressure early. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve now. The General Pride just puts so much damage on, and he can even defeat my shield. I have to put all 5 on base or I'm in big trouble. He resupplies. Okay, so I get the 2 to base. Ramping is scary. I get my guy down, we pass. So this turn we can get down Lom, nice bit of health. Anakin's not a bad card. Krennic could be a plus Owen. I think Owen's the least impactful here, although he's not bad for absorbing indirect. I just don't know when we fit him into the curve, so we'll resource him for now. He's probably going to play down a decent sized spaceship here. There it is. We'll put 1 underneath the shield. I don't think it really matters. And then he gets to do an additional 1. We'll go for 1 to base. Let's get our 4 in. That's going to get a Boba on it next turn, which is very scary. Let's get our 2 to base. Let's get down Long Pike. Let's see where we're going. Vader might help us out of a sticky situation in a little bit, but not right now. Going to 5 resources. We have another Lom to smuggle, but not much else. We're probably doing 2-2. So let's get rid of Anakin. I'm assuming Boba's coming out here. Shame I do not have my Power of the Dark Side to punish this. Not a problem. So let's go 4 to base, and I will shield him. I don't think it matters, and I get 1 extra damage to base. Because if I'm going on the Vader plan anyway, let's just pray he plays a space unit. That is a 12 damage bombardment here. So I think we'll go 1, 2, 3 here, another 1 here, so that's 4, and then the rest on base because we need our units. So we are dying. Let's go down direct to Krennic. So another hit would kill us from this Boba Fett already, so we have to claim here. Looking for a Power of the Dark Side. There it is. It was coming eventually. We knew it in our heart of hearts. Super Blade's tech, not going to be much use here. I mean, he's definitely already got such a high life total, like a Devastator and stuff here will just start to eat us up. But the main thing is we do have a plan. We have a lot of damage on board too. We'll start with the power. 1 turn late, but you know, just in time because we're going to win this. You just got to believe. The Ruthless Raider puts on more pressure. So it doesn't kill us in one hit though, so I think we got to go big, we got to go bold. So I think we'll go 5 to base, we'll give him a shield, we'll give us a shield. He's claiming, does he have something? Just swarm the board with everything we have. It's all down to this one action, a tight game. I think any of these really help. I don't think the deck has a ton of pump, but you could have a burn spell, a indirect card, a barrage. We'll see what he does. My shield is doing work, and there it is. As you can see, even with the ramp, the huge Boba flip, we were able to race here. Get Lom with the 5 to base, give him another shield, just to say thank you for the win. And there it is. So, yep, there are some games with Gar Saxon. Okay, so there was some quick games for you guys. Hope you enjoyed those. As you can see, we got to get some nice wins. We got to pull off some of the top tips. We got to use some of our tricks up our sleeve. Hope you guys learned a lot about the deck today. Let us know how you get on in your store showdown in the comments. And importantly, stay tuned here on Gonk Gang for more videos. We'll see you real soon. Goodbye.